Cause if you wanna go blow for blow, girl, whatever you're down for, I'm trying. It won't hurt him if you don't know. That's how it's got to be. I understand you gotta that live at home, but I wanna be that cat that makes you moan. See, are you down to swinging that with me? Or could you be blinded by all this ice you see? I'm willing to give you all this love I got. No relationships involved. Keep it strictly physical. All this love. Ooh, yeah. Now say a word. And now you're gonna be the one, girl. You gotta be the one. All this love. And I've been waiting. And now you're gonna be the one. You're gonna be the one. Oh yeah, yeah. I've been patiently waiting. 'Cause there's so many things we can do, so many things we can share, but with no strings attached. You like that? You're gonna be the one, yeah, yeah, yeah. All this love, are you gonna be the one to get it? Can I say it again? All this love, are you gonna be the one to get it? 'Cause you gonna be the one. Now say a word. And now you're gonna be the one.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at Beyond the Page. We are a creative artist resource center, and I see so many people hopping in here and joining. My name is Asia E. Marche, and I am going to be your host for this lovely evening. Happy Valentine's Day. We got a chat going on, so if you want to let us know in the chat, it may also look like a Q&A box on your side of the screen. Let us know where you're based. Where are you joining us from? Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Oh my goodness, the numbers are jumping. I got a couple more people coming into the room. This is so exciting, so exciting. We are so thrilled here at Limitless Destinations to be hosting our very first event of the year, Beyond the Page. It is our new live stage reading series where we are going to be kicking this off, and I'm going to be giving you all so much more information about it. But I'm going to pop a message in the Q&A box so y'all can all let us know where we are all joining one another from. Good evening, good evening. This is great. I hope that your Valentine's Day has been off to a great start today, showing yourself some self-love, or if you are in a relationship, showing some love to your partner, or just showing some general love to your family and friends. It is important. Welcome, welcome. I see new people joining into the room. Hi, how are you? Welcome to Beyond the Page. This is great. Our event ended up selling out, so I'm so excited to be able to be here with you all, sharing space, showcasing some amazing artists that we have joining us from different parts of the country here in America. If you're joining us from the US or if you're joining us from somewhere else, go ahead and pop in the Q&A box where you are joining us from. All righty. Oh, good. Some more people are coming in. Awesome. So I just want to start off with some general housekeeping, introduce the Creative Artist Resource Center, also introduce myself. I'm Asia E. Marche. I'm going to be your host for this evening. And I'd like to welcome you to Beyond the Page. This is our Valentine's Day edition, where we are going to be showcasing some really, really great scripts for you all tonight that is focused around love, that is focused around relationship. And our featured writer and director for this month is a gentleman by the name of Artis Desjardins. And he was very, very clear with Limitless Destinations and letting us know the types of work he wanted to showcase. He didn't want it to just be um, a stereotypical concept of love. He wanted to delve a little bit deeper to really, enlighten us and also entertain us for today as well. And so as we get into all of that, again, for my new folks joining into the room, hi, welcome to Beyond the Page. My name is Asia E. Marche, and I'm going to be your host for this evening. We are Limitless Destinations. I am the founder of Limitless Destinations, and I'm also a multi-hyphenate artist myself. Lots of folks online know me as the multi-hyphenate actor, and that is because I am an actress, I am a producer, emerging director and writer, and also a community development consultant. So I am all about making sure that the arts have a place in all neighborhoods, making sure that accessibility is given in all different ways and facets. And so Limitless Destinations is a creative artist resource center for all types of artists, whether you are an actor, whether you are a writer, whether you are a painter, whether you are a dancer, maybe you're a musician. We welcome you to our Creative Resource Center. And to be honest with you, the mission behind Limitless Destinations, for those of you that don't know, the mission behind our Creative Artist Resource Center is to actually cultivate an entrepreneurial mindset for creative artists. When we sign up for these careers as being artists, some of us are prepared on what that means, but then some of us aren't prepared on what that means in terms of the business, right? Sustaining the career, but also not waiting on an industry to give you permission to showcase your craft. And so that is what we are all about at Limitless Destinations. In addition to cultivating that entrepreneurial mindset, we are also a creative artist resource center who prides ourselves on making sure that you have the tools and you have the knowledge to maintain a holistic wellness within yourself as an artist. Because a lot of the work that we do, regardless of whatever your craft is, it's very emotional, right? And there's a lot of different challenges that we face. And there's also going to be a lot going on in the world. And so we make sure that you not only have the tools to be able to propel your career to where you need it to be, but we also make sure that you have the tools in order to sustain yourself emotionally and mentally. It's super important. And that brings me to the next thing. I want to thank our sponsor for this event. Our sponsor is a mental wellness organization by the name of Creative on Purpose. I believe we have one of the volunteers here as well, that's representing Creative on Purpose. They are our sponsor, and when we run these events, we like to actually feature a local nonprofit because, again, it's all about accessibility with us and also being able to drive traffic and attention and funding to some nonprofits that don't get as much love as they need. And so Creative on Purpose is a mental wellness organization that provides mental wellness tools to women and girls to creatively be able to heighten their self-esteem and also be leaders in the communities where they are. And so we want to thank Creative on Purpose for sponsoring this event. And there's going to be more information later in this event for you to learn more about Creative on Purpose, but feel free to interact with them in the chat because I do see we have a volunteer here on board from them. All righty. So I want to get a couple housekeeping out the way before we get the show. I see our actors popping up. They're showing up. They're here. They're ready to go and put on a great show for you all. But just a few housekeepings that I want us to all be aware of. Please feel free to interact with one another in the Q&A box. It is a networking opportunity. This is a virtual event, but if we were in person, we will all be mixing and mingling and all that great stuff among one another. So this is no different. Do not be a stranger. Do not be shy at all. We welcome that here in this space. And also, any questions that you may have after our performances are done, we are actually going to be having a talk back with our featured writer and director Artis, along with some of the cast and with the actors that you see throughout these performances tonight. So that's going to be exciting. So get your questions ready for anything that they might be able to answer for you. And be sure to put your questions in the Q&A box so I will be able to ask them all the burning questions that you may have. Now, Before we get started, the last thing that I want to say to you all about Beyond the Page, the purpose of Beyond the Page. Beyond the Page, this is a live stage reading series, as I had mentioned at the beginning. And so a lot of the work that you're going to see this evening is in development. Right. So there are certain artists that will come to the center, whether they do it through a consultation or maybe they've attended one of our seminars and they have some work that they actually want to workshop, or they're ready to start shooting it if it happens to be a film, or they're ready to put it on stage if it's a theater production. And so Beyond the Page was born to allow that writer or allow that director an opportunity to practice their craft, because as a fellow artist myself, I was so frustrated with the fact that where do we have a place that we could practice, right? Comedians, they got comedy shows. Musicians, they have open mics. But for those that are directors and writers and actors, we don't really have a place that we can just go to have fun, practice our craft in a low space, but also still share with the public, such as yourselves, just how great we are and some just good content that maybe we're not able to fund at the moment. So this is a developmental event. So you're going to see some great talent helping our featured writer and director workshop some of their pieces. So please leave feedback in the chat. That is welcome. We welcome it. And last but not least, I want to give a special thank you to Joyful Castings for being the casting office that helped find some of these actors to bring Artis' vision to life. That is something that's super special about Limitless Destinations. We want to make sure that we're mirroring exactly what this field and this industry is like. And so sometimes actors aren't offer only and they don't just get the roles. They have to go through an audition process. And so that is exactly what these actors went through, so that our director has the opportunity to exercise that muscle of being able to engage with a casting office or a casting director and being able to properly articulate what it is that they're looking for so that they can get the best talent for these roles. Okay. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring up our first performer that is going to be actually performing a monologue titled An Angel of Forced Love. Now, this monologue was fully directed by Artis Desjardins, our featured director for this month. But in terms of the writing, Artis is actually a co-writer on this piece, along with one of the writers, Tara McDowell. And so I am going to go ahead and bring to the virtual stage our performer that's going to be performing An Angel of Forced Love. His name is OG Miller Fernandez. Now, let me tell you something about this brother. Y'all, prepare yourselves, because I saw him perform it and I was taken aback. I'm like, the world got to see this. Like, he is just eating it up every time. But I don't want to give too much away. I want you all to be able to enjoy this performance. Remember, leave feedback in the chat. We welcome that. Cheer him on virtually as I bring him up here. Before he goes ahead and gets started, I just want to give you a little background information on this talented performer that we have to the stage. OG Miller Fernandez. He is a film commercial theater actor. Okay, multi-genres. We love it. We love to see it. And to be honest with y'all, he discovered his passion for the arts when he was younger. He was not only performing in short films, I heard, when he was younger, but he was also directing and editing them. So he was able to kind of see both sides of the camera, but this was also influenced him to be such the strong performer that he is today. And so this performer is also based out in Brooklyn, New York. If we got BK in the building, what's up? We love to have you. And outside of production, OG enjoys skateboarding, illustration, painting, playing sports, fashion, anime, pop culture, history. So we probably gonna get a lot of these little different influences in this performance. And so OG, I'm gonna pass it over to you, ladies and gentlemen, and all of those that are joining us here at Beyond the Page. Let's give a virtual, warm, happy Valentine's Day welcome to OG Miller Fernandez.
Do you want me to fall in love with you? Is that what you want? Because I didn't know that. I mean, I could work on that. And I know you think I know, and you'd be forcing me to love you. And who wants that, right? But that's not how I see it. You'd be guiding me, right? Like a flashlight. in the woods. No, not a flashlight. You could buy me a flashlight at Home Depot or CVS. You're much more than that. You're so giving to me with such a tight body, and you make me feel so strong. No one could ever find you, Abby, in Home Depot. You're an angel. This beautiful guide-like angel showing me how to love you. You just know how to teach me, and you're a good teacher. I've seen those notes those second graders give you, and you don't like when I ignore your calls. You told me, and now I know I won't do that anymore. You yesterday when that hot girl, I mean woman, when that woman took the cab we were waiting for, and I commented on her lovely short skirt. You told me, you just said it, and I appreciate it. You said, "I don't like it when you point out hot girls to me." Yeah. Okay, fine. I don't have to say those observations out loud. I'm learning already, all right? I appreciate your willingness to learn and adapt and not to be afraid to speak what's on your mind. And I didn't know how much I needed that. It's not about forcing love, it's about growing it organically. And now that I think about it, you're not just an angel, you're a beacon of light, a compass guiding me through uncharted territories of the heart. Together, we'll explore the depths and laugh at the surface and create a love story that's uniquely ours. So, Abby, let's continue this journey together hand in hand and write a love story that's, transcends the ordinary. What do you say?
Awesome. I love it. Great job. Great job. Everyone jump in the chat. Show OG some love. If you from BK, let them know you in the building. I see we got Jersey in the building. That was phenomenal. We look forward to seeing you at the Talkback, OG. Oh my goodness, that was so good. Again, for everyone just joining us, that was An Angel of Force Love, written by Tara McDowell and co-written by Artis Desjardins, our featured writer and director for this month. Nice. I'm seeing things happen in the chat. I see more people joining in. Awesome. Welcome to Beyond the Page. OG, that was amazing. And I'm so looking forward to being able to have him back on the virtual stage so we can ask him some questions about development, right? His process, and also how he's able to bring things such as that to life in the way that he did. So, in good fashion, y'all, we are going to bring another performer to the virtual stage that is also going to be performing a monologue for us this evening. And that monologue is titled Fear and Love. And this monologue was written by Sheila Larson along with Artis Desjardins. So let me go ahead and see who our performer is for Fear and Love, brother by the name of Tristan Benitez. I'm going to go ahead and bring Tristan up to the virtual stage. Let's go ahead and give Tristan a nice warm welcome in the chat. Okay. Alrighty. So a little bit about Tristan. Tristan is an artist that is based out of New Jersey, and he has spanned different mediums in performance, all the way from theater along with film. And he is currently studying Uta Hagen and Alexander techniques at HB Studios out in New York City. So any actors that are out there that are looking for a nice training ground, Tristan, this is where he getting his chops from, HB Studios. And some of his noteworthy credits in his career thus far is the short film Knock Knock, where he was actually nominated, y'all, for Best Actor in the Pennsylvania Horror Film Festival. So shout out to Tristan and the rest of the production crew on Knock Knock for that huge accomplishment. And with that being said, although this is Tristan's first time working with Limitless Destinations, our Creative Artist Resource Center, he is super, super excited to be able to bring to life some of these works here. So let's go ahead and get Tristan up here on the virtual stage. Righty. This is going to be so great, y'all. Fear and Love is another good one in honor of Valentine's Day. Welcome to the virtual stage, Tristan. All right, well, I am going to pass this over to Tristan. Again, he will be performing for us Fear and Love. Enjoy.
When I first saw you, it wasn't love at first sight. It was more like, hey, how's it going? We became friends and had our own lives. Never did I think we had so much in common. One day I began to notice you more and more. I started to see how you really were. You wanted people to think you were one thing, but I saw right through it. You were very kind, misunderstood, and was in need of love. It occurred to me you were in danger, holding on by a thread, needed to be sewn back together. Going against what my brain was thinking and going with my heart and soul, I decided to pursue you. You judged, gossiped, and outright hated us, trying to pull us apart. They were almost successful. Fear in us, the what ifs, the why are we doing this swarmed our minds. No matter where we went, it followed. Finally, we broke. Pieces of us scattered around us. Trying to put myself back together, I felt it was unsuccessful. I needed one last part of my life. You. Starting to think about being with you made me scared. The biggest thought was the idea of breaking apart again. Love is a scary part of life. The best and worst is brought out of love. I felt that I'd rather be scared than broken for the rest of my life. Now I feel whole, being held together by glue. Most likely there will be cracks in this love, but the glue will put us back together. Fear will never go away. It always rears its ugly face around. Fear is different now. I've come to accept it, but at the same time, dread the idea that I know one day you will be gone. This fear makes me feel weak. To know there is nothing I can do to stop it. The thing I can do is make the most of what we have now and prepare myself for the future. Thank you very much.
Much for that lovely, lovely performance of Fear and Love. Let's go ahead and show Tristan some love in the chat, everybody. This talkback is going to be something, and honestly, I don't think too often we don't get a chance to really take in the fact of what the writing truly is. When you take away all the bells and whistles, y'all, you really get a chance to really embrace what's being said. You also get a chance to really paint different pictures for yourselves as well. And so, Fear and Love, super, super powerful. Wow. Alrighty, so we are going to gear up and welcome to the virtual stage our last performers of this evening before we get into that talk back. And this one is going to be just as special as our other two monologues, right? With this one that's coming up, this was actually, Artis shared with us a short film that he had been sitting on for a while. And as everyone joined our event Beyond the Page, sometimes these artists come to us for the first time, not even seeing their work ever or hearing it read out loud, performed out loud. And so it's a special day, and we are so honored here at Limitless Destinations to be able to do it on Valentine's Day, because it's an investment within yourself, opportunities given to others. And so this piece that's coming up to the virtual stage is, like I mentioned, a short film that is very near and dear to our featured director and writer's heart. And it was intended to be a short film. And it is titled When Secrets Unfold, right? Now, when I said that it's just as special as the other two, this is going to be an extended version of what y'all see, because we're actually going to have these two talented performers perform it, the whole script. And they're going to take us on a ride. And so, as I mentioned, mental wellness is super important to Limitless Destinations. And so I have to provide a disclaimer before I bring these two wonderful actors to the stage for this story that they're going to share with us tonight. Brace yourselves, right? There is going to be profanity in this piece, given the fact that it's going to be two actors performing with one another in this, during this script, I should say. Emotions will run high. There will be some surprises. And so if you got some kiddos next to you and you don't want them, hearing some profane language of that nature, letting you know now, that's your disclaimer. But it definitely will be a teachable moment, regardless, if you do decide to let them stay. And even for those of us that are here to enjoy it, when secrets unfold, I think we all can learn something from this, to be very honest. And so as I bring these actors to the virtual stage, this is a piece that was written solely by Artis Desjardins and directed by him as well. And so coming to the virtual stage, we have Mystique Taylor. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on up. Mystique Taylor is an actress coming to us from the Bronx. Shout out to the BX. If anybody's in the building from the Bronx, please go ahead and put it in the chat. I always say this all the time. The Bronx does not get enough love, and we really need to change that. So here at Limitless, we are so excited to have Mystique Taylor here, because this is just the first of many in terms of giving more visibility to the Bronx, because it's important. And so that being said, Mystique Taylor, she is an actress and she has been on this journey for a while. But she's gained a lot of experiences along the way. And although this is just the beginning of her career, y'all, be privileged, be blessed. It's Valentine's Day. She giving us love, being able to bless us with her creativity today, because I'm more than certain after this performance, y'all will agree with me. We are going to see Mystique Taylor's name any and everywhere, to be very honest. Very talented young woman. And then next, I'm also going to bring her scene partner to the stage as well, Sydney Afriye. Let me go ahead and bring him on up. Alrighty. Now this brother here is also an actor, but he is a multi-hyphenate in his own right. He is an actor, writer, producer, and director. We love to see it. We love to see it. He was born in Ghana. Shout out to West Africa. And what's so interesting about this brother, let me tell y'all. Not only was he born in Ghana, right? But he also was raised in Germany, Amsterdam, and East London. Now, need I say more about being layered? You feel what I'm saying? And very cultured. But the thing about Sydney is he fell in love with the arts at a very young age, similar to our other performer, OG, earlier. But he fell in love with the arts at a very young age due to his family, who was a real big, who were really big on the arts, specifically film and theater. And so he started off as a theater actor, but then later he said, you know what, I'm going to jump into film and television. And so we are so happy and excited to have him, because he currently attends drama school at the acting studio and the neighborhood playhouse. So again, if there's any actors out here, we're all about giving out resources. If you are looking for a training home to be able to hone your craft and be just as talented as these actors you see here this evening, you definitely want to look into HB Studios, the acting studio, and neighborhood playhouse. And so Sydney looks forward to what the future holds. And I couldn't agree with him more. He said this back when: art is life and art never dies. And so I'm going to pass along this stage and this mic over to Sydney and Mystique to present us with Artis Desjardins, written and directed by him, y'all, When Secrets Unfold.
Thank God we made it. All this driving has worn me out. Can you grab the bag so I could grab a quick shower and get some sleep?
Yes, I'm tired too. I've been working the entire drive here. I need some time to rest my eyes.
Let's cut in good fashion. In good fashion, because like I told you, this is a developmental space. And although the show must go on, this does happen from time to time. We had some tech issues at the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and reset this scene so that our director can get a full experience of exactly his piece on stage. So again, I'd like to present When Secrets Unfold.
Thank God we made it. All this driving has worn me out. Can you grab the bags so I could grab a quick shower and get some sleep?
Marcus, I'm tired too. I've been working the entire drive here. I need some time to rest my eyes.
Brandy, you didn't have to drive the entire trip. I've been going nonstop for 12 hours because you insist we get here a day early.
Look, I'm not gonna do this with you. Go get your damn shower. I'll get the bags.
Thank you.
Marcus, wake your ass up. I'm not gonna miss the first day of functions just because you're trying to sleep in. We didn't come here for that.
Oh my God. Last time I checked, I worked hard enough to earn this sleep. And plus, I don't feel like being around a bunch of people today. Look, you can go. I'll stay here and rest up. Let's not forget. Let's not forget who drove all the way.
I'm about 2 seconds from slapping the fuck out of you. But I'm not gonna miss meeting my family today. You can stay your sorry ass here. And when they ask me where you are, I'm gonna tell them my no good husband decided to sleep in for the day instead of coming to support his wife and see her family. You know, the whole fucking reason we're here.
You know something? I swear I'm not about to get into yet another petty argument with you again. Okay? It's not like I don't want to go to your family function at all. That's not what I'm saying. Look, I am really, really tired. Okay? Let me get a few more hours and I'll catch an Uber or cab and come see you.
You don't have to try to do anything. Stay here. I don't want to inconvenience you.
So do we have to be loud this early? Do you have to type like your life depended on it? Like, can't we just wait until everybody is up?
Look, I work, okay? I work very hard. All this nice stuff and full bank account is all because I'm putting my best stuff forward, being everything I can be at my company. I don't have a choice.
Is that why you never touch me? Because you're so busy and dedicated to being the best employee possible? Like, are you?
Look, look, I'm not gonna go with you again, all right? I'm sick and tired of having this conversation with you. You know I have to work hard. I don't see you putting in any efforts to try to keep our life afloat.
Really, nigga? Really? We're going there? Seriously? You know, I worked my ass off trying to build my company from ground up for the second time. All right, for the second time because a certain someone, yeah, a certain someone drove it into the ground.
Fuck out of here. I'm the one that has to be everything as usual. A full-time manager, wife, and mother. And when you decided to kill my child, I decided to destroy everything that was important to you.
There it is. I knew you'd blame me for it. I just knew it.
Marcus, bring your ass back here. You deserve this. My child would still be here for you if you hadn't decided to go drinking and driving with him in the back seat. How fucking dare you?
My actions were scrambled that entire night. I was feeling so overwhelmed with this secret that have been holding me back from you. I wanted to forget it ever even happened. In results, I took the life of my own little man.
Marcus, what are you not telling me?
I slept with Monica.
My best friend? Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, she has been there for me through all of our disagreement. Was listen, it was only one time. I know that doesn't make it okay, but I didn't mean for it to happen.
What? Well, since we're being honest, I've been sleeping with my therapist.
So what is your reason for you to go off on me? You're here fucking your damn therapist the whole damn time. You have no room to be upset over my one infidelity. Do you hear me?
I don't give a fuck. My best friend? That's crossing the fucking line.
Come on, man. Come on. We've crossed the line further than all of this dumb bullshit. Okay?
At least my therapist understands what I'm going through.
Wow. And guess what? And Monica understands as well. It's not like I can ever talk to you.
Because I hate you with a fucking passion. You're a waste. And you killed every child I ever had. All that stress you put me through in my pregnancies causing my miscarriages. And then you physically killed another one. It should have been you that died in that crash, not my son.
Okay. What the fuck are we doing? Huh? You won't be satisfied until I draw my last breath. Then what, Brandy? You really want me dead?
No. I'm going to lose both of you. I just can't get over how you caused that wreck. I don't know if I can forgive you. I don't know how. And honestly, I'm not even sure if I ever can.
Look, talk to me. Tell me how you're feeling. Let us heal together. Hey, look, if you don't talk to me about it, oh well, we'll never make it another year. Okay, it's just let's conversate. Just we're going to get through this. Whatever it takes, okay? When you look at me, I'm gonna fight for us. Okay?
Wow. I tried to tell y'all. That powerful, powerful, power performance from both Mystique and Sydney. Let's go ahead and show them some love in the chat and give them a nice virtual applause. And if you're really clapping where you at right now, I share that with you because sheesh. Mm, 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 mm. Y'all remember what I mentioned earlier when we had Tristan, the monologue right before this one, about it's something about when you take away the bells and whistles. And to see those two humans unfold and unravel right before our eyes. Oh, I can't wait to talk to him and and ask all the questions that I have. And if y'all have any questions, now is the time to go ahead and drop that in the chat so that I can be able to get to some of your questions for the little bit of time that we do have the actors with us. But this is what it is at Beyond the Page. It is just that, taking it a step further, where you don't have to wait for someone to give you the green light. You don't have to wait for a production company to give you a green light. Or when you have some works that you're just sitting on and you sometimes that helps the creative process, right? You need to hear it, you need to see it, you need to feel it. And that's just, that's for the actors, but also for a director, talking to many directors over the years, one of the biggest things that's always come up in those conversations I've had with directors is I wonder what it's going to be like when I hit the set, right? And specifically within film, right? So we got to get specific, because with this piece we just watched, it was written for film, and not many rehearsals, right? And we do that purposefully so that the actors are able to really feel and trust themselves. That's that wellness piece that I've been talking about. It's very intentional here at the Resource Center, to where actors get what they need with a rehearsal with their director, but the director gets a chance to, explore that craft of being able to communicate with actors, because everybody got a different style. And Beyond the Page is just that. It is the gym. It is an artist's gym to be able to workshop and explore things beyond the page. And so, oh, so many great performances thus far tonight. And I am super excited for us to learn a little bit more about the creative mind that was behind what we all watched this evening. And reason why, being our featured director and writer, um, it's just that, be able to give more tools to an artist to be able to fully feel prepared when it's time to hit the ground running, whether they're taking their production to the stage or they're taking their production on a set in front of the cameras. And so let me tell you a little bit about our featured writer and director before I bring him up to the virtual stage. Artis Desjardins is a visionary director that has tons of intersection between fashion, film, and photography, right? And only at the tender age of 31. And what's so unique about this multi-hyphenate is that he has a self-taught background, okay, with invaluable life experience. And he is a master storyteller, seamlessly blending various artistic disciplines together. And so, from redefining elegance in fashion commercials to crafting emotionally resonant music and concept videos, Artis's portfolio, y'all, it reflects his commitment to pushing creative boundaries. And I think we all kind of bore witness to that this evening. Would y'all agree? We definitely saw the boundaries getting pushed. But his unique perspective, right, in the style of his storytelling, invites us as audience members to really explore layers and narratives, providing such a rich and immersive experience. So let me see if he out here. There he is. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him up. Yeah, let me talk to Artis for a little bit, before we get the rest of the actors up here. But this unique multi-perspective, storytelling style that he has, he's held so many key positions, lead director, assistant director, creative director. And so to really be able to speak to him and kind of get to know him with the writing perspective, that's going to be interesting, right? Being able to talk the writing and talk the directing at the same time. And so his versatility allows for him to navigate seamlessly between the different roles that he does play and the different hats that he wears, affirming his status as a directorial force shaping the visual landscape. And in every project, as we all gonna learn, Artis invites us as viewers on this journey where storytelling does become an art form, breaking free from the conventions and ushering in a new era of cinematic creativity. So let's all give Artis a virtual welcome to the stage and a warm hello. Happy Valentine's Day. How you doing?
Overwhelmed, but I'm excited.
Yes. Oh, we got some emojis going. It's coming in. That show applause. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna be a little biased, y'all, that's in the room with us. I've worked with artists before, but not in this capacity, right? And so it's always a privilege, and it's an honor to kind of see your peers truly break boundaries right in front of your eyes. And so I'm super excited for this conversation that you and I are going to have before we bring, the rest of your actors up here. But, you said you felt overwhelmed, but you also felt good. Did you enjoy what you saw grace the screen this evening?
I not only enjoyed it, I am just overjoyed with emotion. With the short film being the first time I'm seeing it come to life and seeing my co-writing also come to life. Majority of my directing is just directing others' work and nothing of my own. And tonight is just basically a premiere of what I can do, and seeing it come to life is just exciting for me.
It is exciting. And I mean, definitely at the first debut of the year, right? Um, Talk to us a little bit about that process of even finding these actors, right? Like, we paired with Joyful Castings, one of our casting offices that we partner with from time to time. But share with some of our audience here at Beyond the Page, what was it like working with a casting director to even find talent to fit these roles that we saw this evening?
It was very interesting, but also heartfelt to know that what I'm looking for exactly came back what I'm looking for. There was no in between as to miscasting or looking under expectations. It was exactly what I wanted and was looking for. And what I got actually was more than what I wanted. So I do thank you for castings and the talent themselves for just putting on and creating a great project.
Nice. And as you've already heard, I'm saying throughout the evening, I'm gonna keep ushering in for people. This is a development space, you know what I'm saying? So new creativity churns in this space as well. And I don't know if you feel it, but I feel it. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can only imagine what you feel like seeing some of this stuff come to life for the first time with any of the pieces, right? When Secrets Unfold, Fear and Love, or An Angel of Forced Love. Was there anything new that has come up for you that you feel like you might want to change or tweak while, finally seeing some actors really give life and breathe some life into it for you? What creativity has like shifted because of tonight?
I'm not gonna lie, the short film Seekers Unfold, even though it's meant for a short film and we're kind of doing script reading, I actually want to see it in different mediums. So I'm definitely going to still push this as a short film, screenplay, a mini series, an audio series. I definitely want to expound and see how far I can go with this and then take that experience on to my next piece.
Nice, nice. The last question I'm going to ask you before I bring up the rest of the talent, because I see some questions coming in. Um, it's Valentine's Day, right? And we knew that stereotypically we all just think Valentine's Day is about love, right? Like just general concept of it. What did it mean for you to select these pieces for today to showcase audiences your take on love?
I wanted to show all aspects of love. We always get the generic hearts, roses, the Cupid bow and arrow, but we never think about what happens when love is shifted, when love is altered, and when it's modified, and when it also is perceived out of the general norm. So that's what my importance is, to showcase that love also does have breaks and cracks and issues, but it's still there. It's still strong. It just has its individuality.
Mm, individuality. You absolutely right. And we really do be thinking of it like Cupid's bow and arrow, like fall in love is just gonna be happy go lucky. But with what you showcased to us tonight, it was that conflict. And so I want to bring some of the talent into the room because they definitely gave us a lot to think about. Let me bring some folks up here so we can kind of get into it. Got some other folks. Hey, OG, welcome. Welcome back to the stage. Mystique, welcome back to the stage. Let me get everybody else up here. Else. Okay. And then Sydney. Hey, Tristan, Mystique. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. All right. And we have our final actor come back to the stage. Well done. Seeing all y'all faces at one time. My goodness. This power. Jesus. This power. This power. I know that not only me just speaking for myself, but I can speak for everybody in the room. There was a shift in perception tonight. right? Whatever we walked in here with, we're walking out with something new. And I'm so glad to have y'all up here so we can kind of talk a little bit about what that shift was for you. And so I kind of asked artists a couple questions so far, but I want to pose this question to Tristan. Your monologue that you performed today, I mean, it's in the title, Fear and Love, these two polarizing, extremely strong emotions. What did you go through internally in preparing this piece, performing it tonight? What were your takeaways?
Okay, so one of my biggest takeaways is from this monologue is the sense of vulnerability. And when doing a monologue that you don't have, I guess, a preceding event for, you just kind of have to make it up as you go, like try to create this world for this character or this relationship that he had or they have with their significant other. So obviously throughout the monologue, as you heard, there is a sense of like major sense of like this unspoken thing in regards to this relationship where the reason why they broke up and why he feels like insecure about this certain thing or this and this. So it's a sense of what I went through, at least, was the thought process of how not only myself but as the character, how he would be able to handle these obstacles that are brought in front of him, which is he seems like a type of guy that doesn't really express himself well enough or that has trouble expressing himself overall. Hence why through certain aspects of the monologue, I was kind of like either choking up or vice versa, you know.
Absolutely. And I mean, as an actor, right? Like talk to us a little bit about what that process was and working with a director that had a vision of what they saw for it, but also like kind of bridging in the collaboration with you. What did artists bring to the character? What did you bring artists to kind of enhance the character? What was the partnership like? And this is for both of you, artists or Tristan. Feel free.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'll just say my piece real quick. So obviously, Artis is a fantastic to work with. Like he was very helpful with what he wanted and how he wanted it overall. And I would just ask him questions. I'm like, oh, how do you feel about this being like this line being delivered this way, or how would you see this character reacting to certain lines throughout the monologue? And he answered them perfectly, and I was able to take his notes and run with it. So all the applause goes to him, of course.
Mm-hmm. And Artis, what was it like for you on the other side in helping co-write Fear and Love along with directing Tristan's performance?
Honestly, thanks to Tristan, I would say my working with him was very easy. He made it effortless because the communication and the collaboration was so effortlessly as far as letting him portray the vision he saw in the character and what I gave as well. So the partnership along was just so flawless.
Mm-hmm. And then there go that keyword again, partnership. So I gotta bring it back over to Mystique and Sydney, and we gotta talk about When Secrets Unfold. We gotta talk about When Secrets Unfold. Now, Artis, I know you mentioned that you originally had this, as a short film idea, and after seeing it tonight, you're like, I think I want to like experiment with this in different mediums. Tell us what Sydney and Mystique shifted for you and wanting to say, what does this look like in a different medium? What was it about them, these actors in particular, that caused that thought to cross your mind?
Since I wrote this in 2017, I had an idea of what it looked like. And every year it was the same thing, what it looked like. When I got with these two artists and they portrayed these characters, what I saw and what I wanted went out the window. They gave something different that I didn't see. And I felt more emotion than I ever could have written in those words. So when we kept workshopping and getting it done, even tonight was more powerful than our rehearsals. All the emotion that I saw in rehearsal, it made me emotional as if I was there with them, witnessing this whole ordeal. So that alone made me want to see, what does this look like in other mediums? How can we express these emotions more in a different way? I know stage play is different than short film, is different than audio. So I want to see, where can we go with this and how much can we do with this?
Absolutely. Now, Brandy, I mean, Mystique, look at me, doing too much. Brandy's character literally made me not like Marcus either. Like, when you had those moments, Mystique, where you really drew us in on, is he really serious right now? Like, the beats that you took, the moments of taking in and like shifting your emotions. Talk to us a little bit about what you saw in Brandy that caused you to be able to really embody this character.
Well, looking at from Brandy's perspective, she has a lot of resentment towards Marcus for causing not only the death of one child, but every other child she's ever been pregnant with. Even though she clearly loves this man, she just can't find it in her heart to forgive him. And in her eyes, she wants him to suffer for the pain that she had to go through. No matter how much he's trying to make amends, no matter how much he's already apologized, in her mind, he still deserves to suffer for everything he's done and every bit of the pain that she endured. So in her eyes, it doesn't really make a difference of how much he tries. He's still going to be guilty, and she just can't find it in her heart to forgive him.
That's powerful. And I mean, in honor of Valentine's Day, right? Love is multi-layered, multifaceted. And you're even in you saying she couldn't find it in her to forgive him. Talk to us a little bit about the development that you had in finding pieces of love within this performance or in this script. Did love even come across at all, whatever your definition may be?
Not in the beginning. It's more like in the beginning it was just nothing but bitterness. No signs of love, no signs of compassion whatsoever. But in the end, she was letting out what she was feeling. She loved him, but she hated him at the same time. And even though she may love him, she still hated him for causing the death of her son. It's not like she could easily get over that, despite the fact of how she may love this man. The pain of losing a child is not something any mother should have to endure. And in her eyes, she's endured it one time, mainly because of this man. For him to sit there and confess that he slept with her best friend is like an icing on the cake for her. And everything comes up. She can't hold in her pain. The truth is that both of them were secretly in pain. He's in pain over a secret of having an affair with her best friend, and he ended up causing her son. She's in pain because she loves this man, and he killed her children, and she doesn't know how to forgive him. It's a way of process healing, actually.
Artis, I want you to chime in on this as well before I go ahead and pass it over to Sydney. With everything that you've heard your actor Mystique mention about this character Brandy, what went into your thought process when you were building Brandy? Like, even in this, was it, obviously you wanted to hit the resentment because I think Mystique, hit that spot on. But in terms of your concept of love, right? And you wanting to push these different boundaries of how we look at things, like really flip things on its head. What went into building the character of Brandy?
Honestly, I just wanted to give someone who had layers. And with those layers, not necessarily being too deep, but also not as heavy as one may think in their own perspective. When I was writing the script, I didn't have any kind of personal ties or experience to anything. It was just basically a creative dumping to kind of see what can I come up with that would match and pair. And then once I developed a character, how would that dialogue be with their counterpart? But now seeing it play out visually, I didn't know then that I created such an intense and emotional character that has so much layers and took us on a roller coaster of emotions throughout each scene, going from not even having an emotion or not showing one to letting it all out on the floor. So it is basically going above and beyond my expectation of what Brandy ever could have been when I first created her.
Wow, that's phenomenal. And I mean, even in the chat, we have someone saying would love to see this on stage with blocking. I think that goes for every piece that we saw tonight, adding that extra zhuzh in person when we get to finally see these hit in real life. Now, Sydney, Marcus. Now Marcus always gonna go tit for tat. Like it was the tit for tat for me. And when Secrets Unfold. Sydney, talk to us a little bit about what textures you had to find, and build from with Marcus while still trying to keep hold of your woman, Brandy, in the piece.
You know, well, one, I would like to say, artist, well done. This is phenomenal. Me and artist and Brandy, uh, we talked about this a lot. And at first, even some parts of Marcus, I was not a fan of. As you say, tit for tat. That's exactly what was going on in the beginning. But later on, as we started trickling it down, and I seen that this guy is not, he's not as bad as how I thought he would be. He actually he's hurting from inside, because he feels like I am losing the woman that I really truly love, and I don't want to lose her. And at time when your back is against the wall, you just sometimes you just do whatever, and not even think. And I feel like that is exactly what happened, and he gave in when he slept with her friend. But Marcus is truly, truly in love with Brandy, and reading and actually, feeling it, he wants to just make things right. And as I said in the beginning when I was reading, I was like, yeah, this guy, what's going on? Like, I was like, really, artist, you gave me this guy for sure? Come on, man. But then later on, I kind of, I was like, oh, you know what? Okay, he has a
I
heart. Yeah, I was like, yeah, he has a heart. He's and it's something, and it's very relatable because um, we see that a lot when you think about it. Sometimes when you walk and you may not know deep on what couples are going into, but sometimes energy tells it. When one is like saying certain things, they don't even want to sit next to their spouse or their girlfriend. There a lot of the things that they're going into is very, very, very relatable. And we see it, we see it day to day. It's painful, especially when it's children involved and there's death involved. It's very, very painful. But I will sum it up with saying that Marcus is not a bad guy. Actually, really good. It's actually really, really good.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's so important too to mention that. Like with when passion is involved, and passion and love at the same time, things really can go out the window and you really can get blind because you're just driven by those instinctual natures. And I think even when y'all was cursing each other out, I'm like, oh yeah, you can't even see what's like truly important because you're really just following off the instincts. But even in that passion of y'all doing that exchange back and forth, let us know in the chat, y'all that are watching, if y'all resonated with this as well. But that was the love, right? For me, like as a watcher, I'm like, oh, they fighting for something. I don't know if it's love that y'all was fighting for, right? But it was a fight for something. And on this holiday today, whether you're fighting for your happiness, whether you're fighting for to be seen, whether you're fighting for safety. I think when Secrets Unfold really had a theme of that, what that looks like. Like y'all gave a visual to that. So super, super important. It was almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Force, a force, especially what you said, Sydney, in terms of when the energy is already like jumping off of the page, you can really fall into the characters. So, OG, with you performing your monologue, An Angel of Forced Love. I mean, it's even the title for me, artist. Like the title is amazing in and of itself. OG, talk to us about what you went through internally to build that character in that monologue. Like who was your audience? Who were you speaking to in that moment?
Well, for me, I just picture somebody that, like, a woman that I'm very interested in, and I removed everything else from whatever I was thinking. It was just kind of focused on her, and uh, I also try to channel a very like an energy that is kind of like a nervous guy. I try to channel Michael Sierra energy, as I call it,
Mm,
like a nervous, awkward guy that's trying to like talk to this really hot girl. And so there was even a line where it was like, "Oh, that hot chick," or "Oh, I actually mean woman," and then I like stutter, and I know Michael Cera has definitely has said lines like that in his movies, and I'm like, okay, I could relate to that. And so that's generally been my thought process throughout it. But then, like towards the end, I started to transition to a little bit more confidence and became more like solidified in my line, and I tried to assert to the other invisible female character, like, okay, you're a beacon of light, you're a compass, you're this, you're that, and I think that we should be together. That's how I created that.
I think so many people can relate to that. The yearn, the desire of wanting another and making sure you show up as the right person for that. Artists, what with this particular piece, an Angel of Forced Love, with what OG brought to the character, um, was there anything that came up for you in terms of wanting to shift or in terms of definitely wanting to keep or enhance? Because it's a monologue, so we're definitely going to expand upon it, get more of it. It's part of something, right? And for your own creative protections, you don't have to disclose that with us now. But from his performance solely, what does that do to your pen now, your pen game, and expanding that character?
To be honest, it does a lot because my intention of that character was completely different than what we provided. When I saw the self tape, it's kind of like his performance matched the words perfectly. In my perspective, I was looking for someone to be more prophetic, to give more a poetic kind of feel to it, as if they were trying to profess their love in a sense. But when I saw his self tape, I was like, no, this is the perfect lane for this. This is actually, it fits better. You're giving me different emotions and different elements that fit this better than what I could ever think about. So now it makes me write even better to the point where what I think I'm writing, throw it away. Leave it open for perspective, but also still have a shell what I'm looking for, but still be open for that room and change. Because definitely what happened with OG.
Nice. For all of y'all that are with us here at Beyond the Page, we kind of hear from the actors in terms of what they may have learned from one another in their process. On this special holiday, it's important in terms of community for us to learn from each other and also give gifts to one another as well. And so I'm going to open up the floor for any of the actors here on the virtual stage. Whose performance moved you in a way that shifted your perspective, right? Whether it's on love, whether it's on relationships, or whether it's on craft. It's a free for all on what you want to attest to. But talk to us about a performance that shaped you for tonight.
My own performance with Cindy actually helped me a lot because Zoom chats has always been like an issue for me. I always felt like being in person would help me be more in sync. But in this, I actually felt a lot more sync. I admit that working with someone, building your emotions, but still able to bring it out through camera is actually a lot to learn. So that was my greatest experience through all of it, actually.
Nice. Anybody else?
I do want to preference that when I first started, it's one of my biggest issues, and I've noticed that one of my biggest issues is pacing when it comes to saying my lines. And I never had a director. We did a run, and he was like, that's really nice, but I need you to slow down just a little bit more. And I was just like, all right, I got you. And I just took a deep breath, and he's just like, let's run it like a couple more times, slow it down. And I was like, all right. And then I started to realize that more and more, I like after I finished the rehearsal, I was like, dang, like I really like speed through lines sometimes when I'm trying to get like the words out. Like, thing is, because my mind runs like 10 miles ahead of what I'm gonna do. So I'm just it was just super funny, and I realized that during the sessions and hearing this performance as well. So yeah.
Nice. OG Sydney, you have anything you want to add at all?
Yeah, so
Uh,
basically
go right
my
ahead.
oh I'm sorry. Do you
No, no, no,
usually
no, no.
like
You go right ahead. You go
Go
ahead.
ahead, OJ. I think Sydney's giving you the floor. Go ahead.
okay. Um so yeah, I'd say my biggest challenge probably was probably pacing as well. There was times during a rehearsal where my lines, not that the delivery was incorrect, it was more so like the lines would kind of blur together, like towards the beginning, because I had a lot of creative rain, which is not something I'm typically used to. It's kind of like I given specific instructions, and then I'll try to emulate what I think somebody will say, but give my own flavor to it. But he gave pretty good stage directions and still gave me creative reign, and that's how I was able to do the performance that I did. And also the lines were just really well written, and it felt believable, and that's how I was able to create a believable character.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, it's always a blessing when we can, blessing and a privilege when actors can receive quality material to really sink your teeth into. And I think you hit it spot on, and I can't agree with you more in terms of creative freedom. I kind of noticed that in artists' directing style as well. And it was funny, right? Because it wasn't planned, and that's the beauty, kind of about what Sydney was talking about with energies that just arise, and just try not to miss the moment. Artists' directing style is very synonymous with the intention of the resource center of trying to give actors their power back, right? Sometimes we walk into these jobs and we're like, okay, we want to make sure we're right for what the writer wanted or what the director wanted. But what happens when you come across a director that's like, yeah, I know what I want, but what you want to do? Let's do it together. And as actors of color, we don't often get our ownership back in some of these pieces when we're actors. So I'm so happy that you all were able to be paired with a director that wanted to really make that at the forefront of building these characters and building these arcs of these stories. Sydney, for you, what was the experience like for you, and what do you want to share in terms of
Um,
for your instructor?
well, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, one, I'll first start by saying, I mean, it's always great and lovely and a blessing to be around artists, and also having a great director and writer artist. It's like this is one of the most beautiful and wonderful Valentine's Day gift ever. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, and I loved and I watched everyone perform. I mean, there are a few technical issues on my end, but it's my fault. But yeah, I mean, I loved it all, and the scene that I did with Mystique, I really it kind of made me also look in the mirror, like what, it's okay, it's okay when one has done wrong to someone, it's okay to come up and say, hey, you know what, I'm sorry, you know saying, I think we need to, as human beings, we need to, we need to like work on ownership, like owning up to, our wrongs and, mistakes or anything we've done. It's okay to talk about it and just communicate. And this piece actually, pointed that out a lot, So, I mean, art is well written, and also great, directing skills and directing messages. I'm really really appreciate it. Yeah, great, wonderful Valentine's Day gift. This is it. It's phenomenal.
Love it, love it. Well, you heard it here, folks. Accountability is what's important for this Valentine's Day. Representation is also what's important. Sometimes we can feel so many different things internally, but it's not until we see it with our own eyes in real time where we can really make the shift, whether that's being a better version for ourselves or being a better version for those that are around us. And so I want to thank these talented actors, artists, I should say, in y'all own rights, because I believe all y'all are multi hyphenates from the little bit that y'all shared with some of the team over at Limitless Destinations. But Mystique Taylor, Tristan Benitez, Sydney Afriye, and OG Miller Fernandez, thank you so much for lending your talents. And to our featured writer and director for this month, Artis Desjardins, thank you for letting us in to your creative mind. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your world. And for those of you that are here at Beyond the Page, I hope you enjoyed what you saw. I hope that you had a pleasant experience. And if you are any artists out there of your own right as well, The Resource Center, Limitless Destinations, is here for you as well to exercise any and everything that you'd like. So find us on Instagram, find us on our website. I will definitely put that into the Q&A box for you to have. But I also want to end tonight by saying it is important to take your ownership back, right? Regardless of where you are in your journey, I think it's important that we all be a little bit mindful of the power that we actually possess, and it's more than we often realize sometimes. So let these artists on this virtual stage be an example for you all to take your power and your ownership back in your art, and also maintain your mental wellness in the process of it, because it isn't easy what we do. That being said, artists, do you have any words you want to lend, or words of advice? Actually, let's do that. Words of advice to some of our art lovers that joined us here at the Valentine's Day edition of Beyond the Page. Any words of advice to them for writing or directing?
Thing I want to say is don't be afraid. Just do it. Express yourself in any way you see fit. And if the opportunity that arises to you doesn't align with you, it's okay to say no, and it's okay to keep going. Again, it took me 6 years plus to do my own thing. And here I am doing it now.
That's right. It's now a memory of the past. Look at that. Look at that. So all of you that are out there, if you are interested, we are running this Beyond the Page series twice a month. Our next event is going to be on February 29th. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, and also follow our website for future updates. And we'll be in your emails after this event as well, because you registered. This theme today was Valentine's Day, obviously, but for February 29th, Artis has some amazing works in store for us, because he's our featured writer and director for this month. But that theme for February 29th event is going to be Black History. And I'm not going to give any surprise away. Y'all got to be on the lookout for the ads and the postings that come out on what you can expect for that. But if you are interested in being part of that, we are going to begin casting that soon. So just get in contact with Limitless Destinations. And also don't forget these actors that you saw tonight. I promise you it will not be the last. So you make sure you keep up with them, support local artists in your community, in your neighborhood. And if you'd like to partner with Limitless Destinations for us to come near you and make accessibility to quality art a little bit stronger, then let's have a chat. I'm your host for this evening, Asia E. Marche. Some know me as the multi-hyphenate actor. Thank you for joining us at Beyond the Page. Y'all have a great night, and happy Valentine's Day.
All this ice you